Messi. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Just when you think he's done everything, he comes up with something even more special. Nani.
Hello and welcome to episode 9 of Soccer Card Collective. We have Dan, Vincent and Luke here with you for another week. How are you boys?
Very good.
Very good.
Doing well, Dan. Vincent's had to get up an extra hour early today.
Yeah, we were just saying figured out that we didn't update Vincent with our daylight savings time. So we started it an hour earlier and then, we'll talk shit beforehand and we we're ready to get into it. And he was like, what, don't we have another 45 minutes? But not the case.
Leaving me in the dark. Leaving me in the dark.
It's all good. We're all here. We're ready to go.
Yes.
Absolutely, we are. And what a week we have had. And I think we were calling it before the upset week, I guess. Just so many games have gone the unexpected way. And if we were betting on it or doing a 7-leg multi or something like that, we'd be sorely disappointed.
I'll say Saucy's Super Saturday multi would have done terribly. Just put it that way.
Would have gone on the first one, I think, I would say.
Yeah, it's this typical situation where teams that played midweek kind of disappoint, but you see that coming back during the season. So
because there was a league game round as well the week before, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure they went Champions League weekend.
Yeah,
games,
so they had
weekend games, and then Champions League again midweek games, and then weekend games. Is that right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, they had no rest. I think yesterday they were talking about Antwerp players. They also play Europa League now. They played 7 games in 21 days.
Oh wow!
So it's a really, even for teams like Antwerp who now play in Europa League, it's pretty busy. So
that's with the rotation. Like we talk about City and playing with 2 squads and stuff like that, but this is the time of season when they really make the most of that, and it comes into the most effect, especially in that Christmas period as well. That's where everyone gets to run, really.
Yeah, I think it shows the teams that do have deep benches and very fit players that now is the time to capitalize. Like if you look at Barcelona losing in midweek, now losing again. If you see Real Madrid losing midweek, now losing again. So it's creeping up on them, man. Teams who are struggling midweek now also struggle weekends. So no rests.
No.
What has that got to say about the expansion of the Champions League in terms of the amount of teams and obviously the amount of games as well? That's only going to hurt these teams. It's just going to make it worse, I feel.
The smaller teams, you'd see them probably getting dispatched pretty quickly, if you think about it. But then again, does it hurt the bigger teams? Like we saw Sheriff beat Madrid.
Well, it's hard because is there any reason why Real Madrid shouldn't win from Sheriff in any? I mean, even if they play their full bench, they should be better than Sheriff. No disrespect to them, but looking at what they make and what they get paid for, maybe that's the whole problem too. Like maybe these players get paid too much to not perform. I don't know. It's maybe an interesting topic for for another episode. Otherwise, we're gonna drag this on for another
30
minutes. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting conversation. Maybe these players should be getting paid by some metrics. Like if you're a defender and you don't have so many clearances, you get paid this less or something. I don't know, some kind of commission system. I don't know. No, maybe not by the hour, but like by.
He's a hard man. These people from Belgium, they're hard. They're you got to get your timesheet out when you're on the field. You got to fill it in.
Clock on, clock off before they come on the field.
I mean, look at Club Brugge. Look at Club Brugge. They don't get paid as much, and they perform. So
it's true.
It's true, but
get paid too much.
Those players are trying to get somewhere, whereas the other players are already there. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, made it to the Real Madrid squad to lose against Sheriff in the Champions League. Nice. We've made it.
We can talk about that for ages, guys. Let's get into the games. Yeah. We're going to quickly go over these ones in the Champions League. There were some surprises, let's say. Shakhtar Donetsk, Inter Milan, 0-0. Probably expected Inter to win that one. But the massive one was Sheriff. Did we go over these already?
I don't know. I can't even remember what happened, to be honest.
No, we didn't. We didn't go over this.
No, we didn't. Because
we talk to each other so much that, we haven't actually talked about it on the pod. So Sheriff, obviously 2-1. Like, what, we were just talking about it. What's the thoughts on that game?
Oh, it's a game that Madrid should be winning any day of the week, especially at home. If you want to click on it, we'll just look at the lineup as well. Because to be honest, I can't even remember what happened in half of these games.
That's the issue with the midweeks.
Benzema penalty.
Courtois, Gutierrez, Alaba, Militao, Fernandes, Camavinga, Casemiro, Valverde, Hazard, Benzema, and Vini Jr. That was a lineup, the starting lineup for Real Madrid. So, I mean...
and I wouldn't know one of these players.
I don't think you can add much to that Madrid team. There's no excuses there. There's no excuses. No. You shouldn't be losing that game at home to Sheriff with that squad.
No. Also, didn't they have a lot possession? Like these stats, I think they were pretty insane.
I would imagine so.
Yeah, it's not loading for me. So. I don't know.
Here we go. So it was 76 possession versus 34.
Battering.
Incredible. 31 shots on goal versus 4. So to think that they've scored 50% of their chances on goal, and they fucking hell, that's so bad. 705 passes, 237. Yeah,
the goal was a penalty as well for Madrid. Far out.
Yeah. Well, it's those kind of teams. They know they will not get too many opportunities, so they need they're from Moldova. They need to capitalize on whatever opportunity they get. And that's exactly what they did.
Mm.
Well, can they probably replicate it? Probably not, but one time is enough.
The next big game was PSG 2 over Manchester City 0, and Lionel Messi got his goal as well.
Debut goal for PSG. It was a pretty nice goal too. Credit where credit's due. 2-0 over City. Yeah, not much else to say.
Dom is in the chat as well. You see one player who just scores jammy goals, and you got another one who scores fantastic, brilliant outside of the box kicks.
What would you rather? Three jammy goals or one pretty good goal? I think I'm taking the 3 jammy ones. Not gonna lie,
they're worth the same, to be honest. So it doesn't matter how they go in, as long as they go in. And he's playing in the best league in the world where he's done it. PSG, Man City, a lot of people are saying that this is a pre-game for the final. Do you guys have that same opinion? Does it change after this game?
No. I thought City played pretty poor, and they still were better than PSG. PSG just scored 2 goals. I think the team to beat is still going to be Bayern Munich. I cannot get past Bayern Munich. It's no, they're too good.
They won 5-0 over Dynamo Kiev. Also, some other games of note. Atalanta 1-0. Liverpool 5-1 over Porto. I think that was an absolute annihilation. A great game there. Club Brugge 2-1 over Leipzig. Juventus got the win over Chelsea. That was a game that we did watch.
Yeah.
And don't think I'm going to ignore it either.
Is this why you wanted to talk about Champions League?
Absolutely.
This was not.
I was going to get there eventually. It wasn't in the plan, but I just remembered it last second. I thought I'm not going to let these guys pass that. Juventus, which is my side, with 26% possession. You can tell the type of game we played against Chelsea, and I felt like executed it for the most part very well.
Yeah,
what were your thoughts?
The goal was straight after halftime from Chiesa.
Yeah, 50 seconds in or something.
Yeah, we were still in the rooms at that stage. And then like Chelsea going forward, it just looked like we're just like almost hopelessly just whipping balls into Lukaku when he's got 2-3 defender. Well, not three, but more two center defensive. Two centre backs on him the whole time. So it's like, I don't know, it didn't work.
That was literally our game plan. Get the ball to Lukaku and hope he does
just
something.
Hope he does something. Yeah, exactly.
We only went through the middle. There was no wing play. There was no crosses in. It was just straight through the middle, trying to reach Lukaku and trying to do something. That's why we got one shot on goal. I mean, yeah, with 66% possession, one shot on goal. That's not good enough. Like they got 7 blocked shots. Like, oh.
I think it's said a lot. When you're playing this type of formation, these two players, Ziyech and Havertz, become very important. And I felt like they were relatively anonymous most of the game.
Yeah,
it's those guys that need to make something happen. Like, and that was not the case.
Yeah. Saying over this side, Chiesa, and you know, Juventus did play a front three without any main striker. We played Quadrado, Bernardeschi, and Chiesa. We didn't have Morata. We didn't start Kane either. But Chiesa showing time and time again that he's just such a brilliant talent. He's just excellent. And he took his goal very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Any other games in the Champions League? Not so much. Let's move to EPL. And there were some upsets in here. So Manchester United, Everton 1-1, and I think a lot of people were surprised by this lineup, which looked like a second lineup almost. You know, had Cavani, well, Greenwood obviously does start, Fernandes and Martial, keeping Ronaldo on the bench. Let's have a look at the bench. Ronaldo, Pogba, Sancho,
You should bring up that meme. That meme was gold.
Yeah.
Which one was it? I'll find it.
The Simpsons one.
Okay. What were your thoughts about his game plan in this game, Solskjaer?
It looked like he was just giving some players a rest after the big, the big load they've had in the last few weeks. You know, Ronaldo at 36. Alfredo, Ronaldo, you know, at his age now, he's going to need a rest every now and again. But more about the result. Andros Townsend, oh my God, that was absolute shithousery. Celebration.
He did say that Ronaldo is like his idol, and he wasn't like doing it for him instead of like against him.
Oh, to be honest, that was my idol, and videos of like that. I think he's just trying to cover it up and looking for the media.
I'd probably do it in another game, not against Manchester United when he's sitting on the sideline. Well, I don't know, he wasn't at that point, but yeah. Did you
see the photo going around as well of his shin guards?
Yes.
Ronaldo's got his own face on his shin guards. It's so funny. It's so good.
Type of person he is. It's all about him.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I mean, look, I understand the need to rest players. I completely understand that. But I think we're kind of seeing it as a theme when we go through these games that, you know, names on a list, or if you're playing Football Manager, it's just names, right? Like you don't really see these players week in, week out. But it's really about cohesion. It really is. And if you just change a team like that dramatically and don't be strategic about who you're taking off in particular games, it has huge effects on your whole team. I think it really does.
I think the game plan, again, was that there was no plan. And I think that's the biggest issue Manchester United has. They have a lot of great players, a lot of great talent, young guys. There's a mix between old, young, but there's no game plan. There's like randomness. There is no consistency. There is no clear thing of they're going to try this and they're doing this. It's like waiting for some guy to do something. Like Martial, he hasn't played or scored a goal for like forever, and all of a sudden he scores a goal, and that's their only goal. Like if he hadn't scored that goal, then they would have lost again, because the goal from Mina in the second half was again offside. So they're lucky again that got like cancelled. Otherwise, they would have lost 0-2. So it's like they're waiting. He's waiting and hoping for these flashes of brilliance by one player or the other to make something happen, and that's their game plan right now, which is pretty sad to see.
So 2 more things just to add before we move on. 1 positive, 1 negative for Man United. I thought Sancho was positive in this game when he came on.
Yeah, he played well.
I thought he played well. Seems like he's improving, getting a bit more confidence in his game, getting used to the league. And the the negative is definitely Fred. He fucking sucks. I don't know any more to say. He sucks. Damari Gray almost put him in the first row of the crowd, and ran down the line, and it cost them a goal at the end of the day, and cost them 2 points.
Why does he keep persisting?
I don't know. I actually don't know. Does he have a quota on playing Fred? I don't know.
Maybe it's in his contract or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Must be.
I have no idea why he keeps falling back on Fred. I lack of options, maybe. I don't know. I mean, you have Pogba there, but do you rely on McTominay to keep the midfield close? I don't know. I have no idea.
Van de Beek does not look happy at all.
Nah.
He does not look happy.
And rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Chelsea, Southampton, did you guys watch it?
Yeah, we did. We watched
Yeah,
this.
We did.
Fred was a standout, Dom reckons. Yeah, we did. It was a good performance, 3-1. Timo was unlucky to get his second ruled out, his first, and then went on to score another one. But I saw some stat that apparently he's had the most involvement in Chelsea goals. Did you see that, Vincent? I can't remember off the top of my head.
No. Oh, yeah.
He's been involved in like the most Chelsea goals in the last year and a half or some shit.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
That's wild, yeah. I was going to see Chalobah score again from the corner. I
mean, and this sorry to cut you off, but this is a perfect example of how a game plan is necessary. Like Chelsea played a totally different players compared to last time out, but with a game plan, they make it work. Like Loftus-Cheek all of a sudden is in there. They didn't chill well. Hudson-Odoi, Havertz is not there. Ziyech is not there, and they still have some kind of game plan to make it work. They find a way, and that's what Manchester United doesn't have. So it's Tuchel is a very good coach, but it's like that's why it's so important. Yeah,
even Loftus-Cheek coming back as well. I think he's been good even against Juventus. I didn't think he was too bad when he came on.
Same with Barkley. Surprised. I'm not sure where he comes from, but
and that's what I mean. Like that's another 2 because we usually have the rotation of like Kante, Jorginho, and Kovacic. Yeah. Now we've got Loftus-Cheek in there as well, and Barkley can come on and play his role too. So the depth there is crazy in the middle of the park.
Yeah, and James on the side. He's injured right now, but Chalobah gets some minutes. But if he comes back, we have James as well. So a lot of options, obviously. But
Christensen too.
Christensen,
yeah, plenty of options. And those attacking ones, those attacking mids, we don't even need to talk about them and all the options we got up there as well.
Yeah.
Some other games, you know what? I'm not going to even talk about Arsenal anymore because we might as well give light to a team mid-table who's actually half decent and worth speaking about. So 0-0 against Brighton. Let's just move on from them. Tottenham 2, Aston Villa 1. A game I really wanted to get to was Liverpool-Man City. This looked like an absolute cracker.
Yeah, Salah was on fire.
One half with 4 goals, and then the first half with nothing, and then the second half 4 goals. And what kind of goals was insane. Salah's goal was a thing of beauty. Then the Brana's goal was pretty nice too. Like that was a
Foden's goal was this.
Yeah, Foden, yeah, Mane as well. It's like it was a pretty good day for the hobby, pretty much as well. Like Salah, Foden, the Brana. It's good. It was
Salah's going to be a big part of our next topic since he has been absolutely tearing it up, but not getting the respect he potentially deserves as opposed to some of the other darlings of the hobby.
Yeah.
We'll go through that. Some big upsets in La Liga. We have Real Madrid getting a loss. And like Vincent said, maybe coming off a bit of a midweek slump or hangover, let's say. Benzema got his goal, 2-1 was the result.
He's the only one that seems to be consistent, like year in, year out. And then, again, a different kind of lineup compared to midweek too. Valverde coming in, Kroos coming in, Modric. I don't know this team. Sometimes I feel like they're on the right track. They have a Benzema, like, I don't know. Then they brought in Camavinga, but he got replaced the 46th minute already. I don't know. They have a world goalie in Courtois. I don't know what happened. I don't know what they're doing.
They're in a weird spot, Madrid. I feel like La Liga just in general is in a weird sort of position at the moment, where it's trying to sort of pick itself up and re-gauge sort of where it is. And sort of, it's going to be deep. It's like sort of trying to find its identity again, losing Messi, losing Ronaldo.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That's exactly the words.
Well, I feel like that as a league, not just like, Madrid or Barca, like those two probably maybe more Barca than Madrid, but I feel like just as a league.
For sure. Like they I don't know, is it a salary cap? I'm not sure what they're trying to implement there. It's something like that. They had the Galacticos. They obviously had that brilliant Barcelona team, and bit by bit, it was kind of going by the wayside, and they just kept on accumulating debt and not doing much.
Look at the first six: Real, Atletico, Real Sociedad, Sevilla, Osasuna, and Rayo Vallecano. That's the top six. Like no Valencia, no Barca. Who else could be there? Villarreal 11th, Betis 10th. I mean, Bilbao 7th. Yeah, it's like wild.
I mean, it's good. It's good seeing new teams up there, but at the same time, you need a reference point.
Yeah, it's far off what it was. The start of say last decade is in like the start of the 2010s, where Madrid and Barca were like the powerhouse of the whole world.
Yeah.
Speaking of Barca, 2-0 loss over Atletico Madrid, and Suarez seemed to be happy about it. Let's just say that he let them know what they're missing. Let's say.
I think it's still insane to say that he was like not part of their plans, or he didn't fit in, or he was too old, or whatever. Like, again, this is a guy that will get you goals. Like, he's a fighter. I was about to say he's a biter. He's a fighter.
He's a fighter.
Oh my god.
He's a fighter, so he will get you goals. And then to just let him. And now look at their lineup, man. Please, Barcelona. Look at their plays up front. De Jong, he's like a truck moving. Depay, he'll get you goals. But oh my god, it's a miss. It's good to see all these youngsters, though. Like, look at the amount of youngsters they're putting on the field. It's insane. But that's why they're also losing. Exactly. And you cannot afford that being a Barcelona team. Like, it's the same in Belgium. If you're Anderlecht and you're already failing for the last 3 seasons, they're like, you're not gonna get the financial backing. Like, things are gonna sort of drop off, and your name is Barcelona. Like, you don't have that credit. Like, people expect you to perform and perform fast. If you lose 2 games in a row, like you're what's happening? They're ninth right now. Or okay, they lost only 1 game, but they're still 9th.
In saying that, the president did come out in support of Koeman.
I mean, don't they always do that before firing them? I mean, isn't that how it goes? It's like, yeah, he has a full backing, and we believe in his plans, and then 2 weeks later he's out. I mean, isn't that how it always goes?
Well, I mean, I'm sure they've reached out to coaches, but if you were Javi, who seems to be the most likely replacement, would you take this role and go away from Dubai to this team? Would you?
They also reached out to Roberto Martinez, the coach of Belgium.
Oh, really? I heard Biddle
Yeah.
was in the mix as well.
Would you take this position? Well, if you believe in youth, and if you say to the guys up top, like, okay, I can come in and replace Koeman, but we still have a lot of youngsters, and I have to do whatever we have, maybe.
Yeah, I think for me, it depends on what the measurement of success is of
Yeah,
the board
exactly.
and what they expect from you.
Yeah.
Because if they're saying, yeah, you're coming in here and you have to turn this team around, and we want to win the league next season or even this season, I'm saying no chance. Not with the squad I got right now. And considering I can't bring anyone in, no, I'd be saying no.
I mean, the fact that Piqué cannot keep up with Luis Suarez, I think it's a nice summary of this team as well. I mean, yeah.
I saw someone did a tier list of all I might have been the starting 11 from this week. I don't think it was the whole squad, and there was none in world class, which was like the top level. Everyone was under that, which is sort of says a lot right now.
Even Ansu Fati, it's a shock.
No, it wasn't in world class.
You mean
That's going to trigger a lot of people.
You mean this?
That's going to trigger a lot of people.
So you mean this is not world class?
Nah, this isn't. He's got to be an exception. He's got to be an exception, doesn't he?
So
I mean,
these are little pieces that we're going to be talking about a little bit later. But just take a note, and we'll bring it up later. Ansu Fati on the bench, and what's his name? Felix. Nowhere to be found. He may have been injured in this game, probably, but I couldn't find him. Or was that him there? JF.
Yeah.
I couldn't see him.
I did watch the
I don't know why they
highlights
wouldn't say João Felix.
Yeah,
but
I know.
at the end of the day, he hasn't been performing very well.
I did see the highlights of this. He looked like he did it okay.
Yeah, he played a good game.
And again, it's 5 minutes of 90 minutes.
I didn't watch this game, but the past few I've been unimpressed.
Fair call.
Let's go through, set it up. Notable games. Juventus won the derby over Torino. We're starting to string a few good games together, which is fantastic to see.
Did you get a chance to watch it?
I watched the highlights. It was at 2 a.m. It was going to kill me.
Yeah,
it was really going to kill me. So I watched the extended highlights. Locatelli, yeah. And then he went home and proposed to his girlfriend.
Oh, really?
Good on him. It's a big day.
Kiers has been absolutely on fire.
What about Kane?
He came on.
Keane did okay. Keane did okay. A player that the hobby is not going to be happy with what I say, but McKennie has been very, very bad. Okay, he's been one of our worst.
What
players.
do you mean?
Mm-hmm. And I was told by a prominent influencer that Juventus should base our team around McKennie. I think I've said it a few times because it's really got me upset because they really came at me about it.
That prominent influencer also said that he doesn't care what Pulisic does for Chelsea. He doesn't care if he doesn't play a game all season. So I'm not really listening to what he says much anymore, to be honest.
Well, he also likes women football a lot more than men's, apparently. Yeah, look, he was terrible, absolutely terrible, and he needs to get his head out of his backside because he seems to be somewhere else. It seems to be, I just really don't know. But in terms of the whole team, it was really good to see. Seems like Allegri's tactics is starting to filter through. At the end of the day, much more experienced coach than what Pirlo was. Inter Milan got the result over Sassuolo. Very surprising to see Bologna get a 3-0 victory over Lazio. I feel like that is a symptom of a lot of games for Lazio and coming off a high being last week's win over Roma.
The red as well, do you think it would have played a part?
No, the goals
did,
were,
but came
goals were
fairly
scored
late.
before the red card. Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing happened after it.
Yeah.
I think it was mainly, they rely so much on Immobile, and he wasn't. He's injured, so
again, Theate scored a goal. The defender that came over from the Belgian Pro League. He had an assist and a goal.
Bologna?
Yeah, Bologna. Yeah, Theate is
right.
the Belgian defender that came over from Ostende.
How old is he? Is he young?
21. Yeah, he now has, since joining Bologna, he scored 2 goals and gave 1 assist as a defender. So
Centre back or full back?
centre back.
Centre back. Not
Yeah.
bad. Not bad.
The Wanderers having a good season so far. They're sitting at ninth. They've got 3 wins, 2 draws, and 2 losses. So fairly even spread. They've actually been doing very well.
Yeah.
Quite impressed. Fiorentina, Napoli 2-1 victory. Did you catch this one, Luke?
I got the highlights. It was at I think 3 o'clock this morning, so couldn't do that with work. But 7 in a row now. Good game. Osman didn't score, but he did have a lot of chances in this game and just a lot of good play in general. Insigne missed the penalty and Lozano smacked in the rebound. Apart from that, the prominent influencer is a lemon, says Doma, and he's not wrong. But yeah, you're not going to take another win against Fiorentina as well. Away. Yes.
Seems like Mertens is getting some minutes back, no?
Did he come off the bench, did he?
I think so. I think like 6 minutes or something. No, it's not going to be much, but...
Yep.
He's off the bench, yeah. Yeah, it'd be good to see him back in there as well.
What did Vlahovic do? Did you see much of him?
Didn't see much, no.
I think he's kind of, I don't know, he's got a lot of transfer rumours coming towards him. Seems to be affecting him somewhat.
Yeah, unless it was just a very biased Napoli highlights.
Or do you watch Napoli TV or something like that?
No, I don't. I just watch the normal one, but maybe, they tailor it to my viewing.
To your taste, yeah.
Yeah.
Roma 2-0 victory. Tammy Abraham played a great game in that victory. The game of the round, though, was Milan over Atalanta. Milan were absolutely on fire. We've got to show them a little bit of respect. Second on the ladder behind Napoli have been on an absolute tear. One thing to note about this game, Atalanta's bitter rivals Brescia, and 2 Brescia boys, Calabria and Tonali, came away with goals. Leao with an absolute belter as well, but they almost threw it away at the end with 2 goals in the final few minutes from Atalanta's side with Zapata and Pasalic.
Yeah, they were up 3-0.
See Tonali score as well from a lot of people in the hobby who rate him very highly, and he's quite expensive in his cards. Would be happy to see him on the score sheet. But yeah, that Leao goal was a cracker.
To be fair, it was an absolute blunder by Musso.
Yeah,
anyway, that's like
it was a nice finish though. You got to give him a nice finish. Come on.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you got to put it in the net, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll move over to Bundesliga and just a couple of games there. Dortmund, Augsburg. Did our boy Haaland play? Is probably the only question that we really need to ask in this game. No, it doesn't look like it. Still away. Didn't. Is this injury a lot worse than what we had expected, or seems to be out for a while?
Let's take a look.
Sure on that one.
Then the other game was this one here, which is Bayern Munich getting a loss with, I can't really say this name all that well, but I'll give it a try. Eintracht Frankfurt. Is that pretty good?
Oh, I'd say so. Vincent, what do you reckon?
Say it again.
I'm not. You say it this time. I won't be put on the spot. So yeah, 2-1 loss. Did you guys catch this at all?
No, I didn't.
No.
That looks like a full strength lineup though. Can we go to the stats for a sec?
Hinteregger scored. Kostic. Yeah, looks like a good lineup. Sané, Müller, Lewandowski, Gnabry, Kimmich, Goretzka, Davies, Hernandez, Upamecano, Süle, Neuer. Looks good to me.
73% possession to Bayern. What else we got here? 776 passes.
Jesus, 11.
Yeah. That's
like,
right.
This is like a FIFA game. This is literally a FIFA game. These statistics, these players, and then losing 1-2. So, no. So, according to The Athletic, coming back to Erling Haaland,
yes.
Erling Haaland needs time to recover from his thigh injury and can barely walk, according to Borussia Dortmund manager Marco Rose. So, it doesn't look that he's going to return anytime soon, I would say.
Barely walk doesn't sound.
Erling
Right.
has been trying to play for days now. He told me, I would love to play, but I can't move the way I want to. I cannot even walk, Rosa said.
Wow.
There we go.
There we go. Last game for us to go through is this one here. In League 1. Rennes to PSG 0. Now, that's coming off
No shots on target as well for PSG.
no shots on target. When you've got a lineup with Neymar, Mbappe, Messi, and Di Maria as your forwards, and you don't have any shots on target, I don't really care who your coach is, in all honesty. Like, I could be coaching them. And you don't get a shot on target. What's going on? What's happening there? And there's no Mbappe. No Mbappe's not forward.
That's not everything. They brought in Wijnaldum. They brought in Icardi. They still have Hakimi who can put a shot on goal. They still have Verratti who can put a shot on goal, and they still have 0 shots on goal. I don't know. I keep saying it. You cannot buy a winning team. That's just it. Even in the Farmers League, you cannot buy a winning team.
You're not wrong there. Not wrong. One to look at on the left wing for Rennes was Suleimana. He's quite good actually. I heard he played very well in this game. I have seen him on a few other occasions this season, and he was pretty good as well. So, and that's with no Doku as well. That Rennes team.
I'll tell you what,
yeah, I believe
born 2002. That makes me feel really old.
It makes me feel old. Jeez. But yeah,
2002. He's 19 years old.
Might be one to have a look at when some cards of his come out.
Okay, it's interesting.
Or his foot sticker. But definitely do your research, as I always say.
Ghanaian.
I mean, even for a team like Rennes, he's been on a tear. Like in his last 6 games, he had three goals and 2 assists. I mean, and they're currently sitting 7th, 8th, 9th. So he's maybe one to watch.
Yeah.
Does he have a so rare card? He would, wouldn't he? Since
yeah, I think so.
Actually, I think I might have looked him up and he didn't have one. I might be wrong.
I'll take a look.
Bits inside it. Don't worry about that. See who's in the chat. We've got Japan Sports Cards. How are you, mate? Donnarumma could have put a shot on goal. Absolutely, he could. And Cosmic, how you doing, mate?
Cosmic.
I mean, what is it like? I understand you can't buy a side. I completely understand.
He does have so rare cards.
There you go.
Are they expensive?
Limited, so 1 out of 1,000 is currently selling for 288. A limited one, a rare one, which is out of 100, is going for 1.5k. But that's also because he's only 19, so you can use him in the under 23s, which is like the Wonder Kid division. Okay. So he has a lot of utility. He's also only 19. Like if he keeps playing professionally, like you can use that card for the next 15 years, maybe. So. Yeah,
I'll see. Just for Japan Sports Cards as well, because he's here. I heard Ajax lost, mate, so that's unfortunate.
Oh, yeah.
You had to rub it into him, didn't you?
He always wants us to talk about Ajax, so we're going to talk about Ajax.
But maybe not this way, because you didn't want us to talk about it this way.
That's why he hasn't asked yet.
There you go. Cool. So that's that done in the books. We've had the Champions League and the week games. I think we've got the international week or something happening soon, which is always something to snooze through, and then can't wait till the games start again. But there's a very interesting topic that we'll have in think about, and that is obviously modern versus the GOATs, let's say. And I won't say vintage because everyone's got a little bit of an interpretation of what vintage is. So we'll talk about, I don't know, GOATs, let's say, or the Ballon d'Or winners of the past, let's say 90s and early thousands or mid thousands. Since the hobby has really taken off recently, right? And when I say recently, I said within the last 2 years, obviously there's a big gravitation towards the new up-and-coming players, and less so, or maybe the ones of the past have never actually had the opportunity to get their run, much like NBA did. Since it was ingrained in their culture, the '90s collecting cards was massive for NBA. Not so much outside of Europe, and it's collecting stickers. However, we are seeing some really dramatic prices for these young up-and-coming players, and comparing them against these GOATs is a little bit hard to chew. And for me personally, something that I cannot grab my head around. At the same time, there are a lot of people in the hobby who are making a lot of money on all of this. But to me, it doesn't make a lot of sense when you're a football purist. And it'd be good to hear your thoughts on that. Maybe start with you, Vincent.
Yeah, as someone who follows football or soccer for a long time, it's a real mind shift that you have to have towards a market like this. Like, there's not much logic in it currently. Well, it hasn't been a lot of logic in the market for a long time. But yeah, I have the same feeling as you. Like, you have guys who won Champions League titles, who were one of the best players or top 10 for their country ever, and they're going for like peanuts compared to a guy who just gave 1 assist and is like 5K because he's like American and whatever. So it's sometimes very hard to make logical decisions because the market isn't logical. Like, I can say that Pavel Nedved is a very good player, but if the market doesn't really care and it doesn't even know who Nedved is, well, then I'm sitting there with my Nedved card. If we're purely talking about investments and stuff, then, well, yeah, obviously, okay, it's an untapped market, but when is it going to be untapped, So it frustrates me a bit as well. And then you always get like, yeah, but we cannot watch them play. It's like, yeah, but I mean, does that mean every single player in the history doesn't matter? Or you never saw Pelé play or Maradona and they go for a hefty price? So yeah, it's frustrating.
It seems to be... Sorry?
Same as Ronaldinho as well. Just add on to what
Yeah,
Vincent said there.
yeah.
A lot of people wouldn't have seen him play.
Or 9. I mean, Baggio is going for good money right now. Hardy. So yeah,
it seems like it doesn't even seem like watching them play every week, because we're talking about Salah and his performances week in, week out, knocking the goals in. Lewandowski to another extent as well. Continuous performances. And comparing them against who I just put up just then, Kaden Clark. Oops, that's just me. There we go. So Kaden Clark, he's MLS Chrome 2 of 5 auto went for $3,383 US, right? Now, even comparing them against current players, is it just purely the power of the rookie? It seems like the rookie is just massive when it comes to cards, and it's just undefeated.
Yeah. I mean, it's these modern sets, and I still have a hard time understanding why a 3 out of 5 or out of 5 out of 10 is so desired if there are 100 out of 5s every single year, Like, if there's 1 out of 5 every year, I would understand a scarcity thing. But if there's 100 of them in a year, then does it really defeat the purpose of a scarcity thing? Yeah, I mean, that's why I probably don't understand modern, because I'm old. I don't know.
DDC's right. American
That's
plus
facts.
rookie card equals money, and that it is the facts, even though it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. What are your thoughts, Luke?
Yeah, look, to be honest, when you're talking about Salah and Lewandowski there, I feel like it's just such an age thing. We've spoken about it before, I think. Just the age thing's so weird in the hobby. Like, if you're 23, like, you're washed. If you haven't won a World Cup at 23, like, you're worth nothing. Yeah, it's just weird. Like Lewandowski as well. That's one that's like, I feel like that one's almost criminal with the way he plays. Like, yeah, he's only done it in the Bundesliga, but so has Haaland. And Haaland's done it for a lot less period of time than what Lewandowski has.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I think. It's just the age. The age thing's weird. Do people have maybe too much? How do I say it? Like too much expectation, maybe, of what the achievements should be. As in,
Yeah.
like a World Cup's every 4 years. Like, and we'll compare it to NBA. There's an NBA champion every year. There's a World Cup every 4 years. There's a European Championship every 2 years. Yeah, there's a Champions League every year. But it doesn't seem like people take those, maybe the Champions League, into as much consideration as a World Cup, for example. Like we see with Mbappe, why Mbappe also because of his age, but that's taken in so much higher regard, the World Cup. And rightfully so, because every 4 years. But I feel like people coming in with that NBA mindset, maybe thinking like the equivalent of a champion. I'm just thinking, I'm making maybe some generalizations here, but they're thinking the World Cup is the equivalent of winning a championship, when really it's not. It means more. And winning a Champions League is, say, the equivalent of winning the NBA championship. What do you guys think of that?
It's a weird one. It's a weird one because I don't know. Because Haaland obviously is, in my opinion, is never going to win the Champions League. Yet he's probably one of the most hyped. And then you've got Pepe and Kaden Clark, who they're American. I mean, I understand Americans are very hyped on their own players, but to put them in World Cup contention is a big statement. I don't think so. So I mean, I don't know. I think, to be honest with you, I'll be brutally honest. I think that a lot of new players are coming into the market, and I think influencers are playing a big role in terms of who to go for. And I feel like they gravitate towards Americans, which is, I understand that to an extent, but they also gravitate towards what other people are collecting because they don't know a huge amount. That's my thought, because these people were pumping up Ansu Fati until recently as well. Even João Felix was really pumped up for a long time. So
they were trying to pump up Fati when he was injured.
Yeah, but I'm guaranteed these people had cards.
They got to chill out. Yeah.
I mean, if they're injured, it's maybe a better entry point. But I don't feel like he dropped too much, Fati, during his injury. No. I'm not sure. I don't follow. People
were still trying to pump him up while he was injured. Maybe that's why they didn't maybe fall as much as some other players.
Maybe, yeah. Well, yeah, he came back and he scored like right away, but then he didn't play the next game, I believe. Like, didn't play this weekend, did he?
I think came off the bench.
Or came off the bench, yeah. So, I mean, he's still a young guy, and I have a hard time understanding why people don't want to understand that there's... I mean, we can probably name 25, 30, 50 players that were dipped the next this, the next that, and never became it. Like, people, whenever I say this, people like are shocked. People say, I don't know football. People say, I don't understand. It's like, even until recently, there is so many players that I'm talking about. Robinho, you had Pato, you had so many of them that were going to take over the world, and the next this, and they were going to win World Cups, and they were going to be this and that. Like, imagine Pato coming onto the scenes right now for how much he would go for. Like,
I used to love him as well, I gotta say.
Yeah, he's still playing as well. He's still playing too. But
Milan days, and he was sick.
He was so good. Imagine his prices right now in the market. If he entered the market right now, when in his prime, they would go for thousands.
That's what we're talking about. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Just imagine what the prices would be right now. I don't even know where he's playing. I don't know where he's playing right now. Like somewhere in the world. I don't even know where. So I don't understand why people don't understand that not every single player that plays a young guy is going to make it. I don't. It's mind-boggling to me.
It's true. That's why you have to do your research. You have to watch. It's easy to go and watch highlights and packages and stuff like that, but you need to really watch games as well. And I know it's hard. It's an hour and a half of your day, and it's hard to watch every game. But if you're buying cards of players and you're investing your money, it's probably smart to at least catch maybe 1 or 2 games before you buy, and a whole lot of highlights packages and stuff like that. Was looking at stats and reading as well. I read a lot of articles personally because like everyone, I can't catch every single game. So reading articles is good too, but yeah, just be careful about who you listen to.
I always say you have to watch 5 games.
For a bit there?
Did you say something? Yeah, I think you did.
Go. Sorry, Vincent. 5 games, was it?
Yeah. I always say 5 games because some games are tougher than others to really get a grasp of how he plays or how he moves in the team or against certain other players. But yeah, like it's like you have to watch these games. Like highlights is enough because highlights are just that, highlights. If you watch highlights of a player, you're only gonna see the nutmegs and the rainbow flicks and the insane crosses. But maybe he lost possession 25 times in the game. Like you need to understand what a player does on the pitch and what his role is in the team and how the team functions. Like I know it's a lot of work, but we're talking about investing in the product here. Like if it was easy, everyone would do it. And I mean, it's supposed to be hard. Yeah, it's supposed to be hard, and it's supposed to take some hours and some research. It's supposed to be like that. Like
and to be honest,
there's no easy way. There's no cut. There's no shortcut. Well, there is, but you have to pump and dump your own stuff then.
I feel like you'd probably get more satisfaction out of, putting in your research and watching those 5 games and watching the highlights and then being right than say you listen to someone else and you made a bit of money and, whatever. Yeah, making money is good. But I think you get maybe more pride and satisfaction out of that too.
I'm going to play devil's advocate in a second. Okay. But firstly, I'm going to agree with you guys, which I do, which is, you got Pepe and Kaden Clark, both playing in the MLS, and Vincent just mentioned Pato and Robinho.
I think his name is Pepe, no?
Pepe,
yeah,
Pepe. Yeah. I've never seen him play, and I don't really need to. He plays in the MLS. He could tear it up, and that's completely fine, but that's all I really need to know to that extent, okay? So Pato, Sao Paulo, he started with. Robinho started with Santos. Completely different teams, okay? I think that Brazilian league is better launch pad and better grounding for your professional development, and then going on from there and becoming a greater player. So you could become a great prospect, the best player in the, what do they call it, the Campeonato or the Brazilian league, and flame out, right? So we're looking at 2 players here in the MLS that people are paying 3,000 American for. Like what is the thought process there? Now, to be devil advocate there for you, I don't agree with the fact that you're saying 5 games is all you really need to
at least
understand.
5, not 5.
I don't agree. I don't agree. I think that you need nothing, because I feel like all you really need to know is what drives soccer cards and what the driver is in what's going to be appealing to people, and how much of it is performance based and their trajectory in the career, or how much of it is hype, right? And I feel like saying that you can't make money without watching games, I think is
you can. You definitely can.
There's a lot of people who are because they understand the market potentially.
I think
you definitely can make money without watching these games. Like if you buy into the market instead of the player, it's perfectly possible. But I feel like to at least understand what this player is about, you need to, like, it's okay to catch a hype, but if you're stuck with the card, well, and there is no future thing with him, then yeah, you're stuck there. So that's why I always say, like, at least watch 5 games. If you like the player, if you like what he's doing on the pitch, if he scores goals, if he gives assists, it's easier to convince yourself to invest in him and be actually okay with it, instead of just listening to someone else and hoping that he goes up and you catch the wave, you catch the trend. Like if you miss out on the trend and you don't sell, you're stuck with a card of a player you don't even like or never watched. So that's why I just say 5. But you can definitely make money without watching players, obviously. I mean, just a young 19-year-old that scores 5 goals is enough. So
For me, it's an imperfect market. If it was a
Yeah.
perfect market, then absolutely, and it makes 0 sense what we're saying. You know, to be investing in a player in the MLS who's a prospect over, mate, I could just name players like crazy. Like I can't believe that Ronaldo, the Brazilian one, the one in my book,
The real one.
is so lowly priced in comparison to American MLS 19-year-old. It doesn't make me feel good in the hobby. In all honesty, like it doesn't actually give me a good feeling. It just makes me just want to collect cards for a PC and not do it for investing. In all honesty,
makes me feel sick as a fan. Let's put it that way. As a fan, it definitely makes me feel sick. Maybe I don't know. Do you have something to say, Vincent? Because I think mine was maybe going to change it up a little bit.
Oh no, yeah, I want to add that makes me lose a bit of interest in being actively involved in the market. Like if that's really the game we're gonna play, like if he scores 5 goals in the MLS, he goes to 3.3K. If that's the game that's being played, then I'll just stick to my vintage, and I'm just completely out of the whole modern and actively being involved in the market, because I have literally no interest in playing that game. So it's sad to see, but I feel like that's where we're going, or where we already at.
But before, because I know you're going to change the topic, Luke.
It's not changing the topic. It's on topic, but it's
okay. Go for it.
I was going to say, do you think the So Rare market is similar to this, or do you think the So Rare market is a better reflection of what's actually happening in the like in games and how players are actually performing?
It's so much different. I mean, if I had players in my team, most people in the soccer card market would never have heard of. I would never buy a card from. Like even Ordets, like people have no idea who am I talking about, but he was one of the better defenders on the platform. Just to give you, obviously he's a defender, but they're like Undav. People never heard about him, and he's tearing it up in the Belgian Pro League. Like, and those are the players people would gravitate towards if they were anywhere but in Belgium. I mean, people going towards Cardladder the No.1 while Undav is scoring more goals and giving more assists. So on So Rare, if your card has utility, if you're actually performing, because they look at more metrics than scoring a goal and giving an assist. Like they look at interceptions, tackles made, possession, passes made, pass and completion ratio. They look at so much more than just does he score a goal or does he give an assist. So if you have utility on the platform, even if you're a 35-year-old goalkeeper from the J League, like if you keep clean sheets, you get a lot of points. That's how it works.
So I feel like that would be more. That's more of a perfect market than what the card one is. I'd say
perfect, maybe not. It's more logical.
We think is logical and perfect.
Yeah, more. Yeah.
But man, look, for instance, Vincent's player that he just mentioned there is a card that's probably going for what? How much?
30 cents, even if he has a card.
No, sorry, the So Rare card. Sorry. What's the So Rare go for?
Undav, you mean?
Yeah.
The one, yeah. Let's see. Your one is limited or rare?
Pick one.
Both.
So his limited is currently €346.
Okay, so this is what I'm talking about on the flip side, right?
And he
I can't get my head around that.
He's 7 goals and 5 assists in 10 games.
That's over 500 Australian dollars for a player that I've never heard of, and I understand he has utility, but man, that kills me. I can't do that either. You know what I mean? I find that very difficult.
Sure, but he gives you a lot of utility on the platform, and that's all that matters, you know.
That's what it's all about. Yeah.
If you then buy him, you can watch his games because you're more invested in him. And that gets you access to different markets. But I don't think he has a sticker or a card. It probably has, but it would be like 10 cents while he scored 7 goals and gave 5 assists in 10 games. Like Cardladder the No.1 scored 4 goals and gave 2 assists in 10 games, and everyone is talking about Cardladder the No.1, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
So
also,
it doesn't actually.
Union is above Club Brugge. in the league as well.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, I don't know. Sorry,
That's just
what
the
do you say?
hype.
I think it's down to, I reckon so rare is the more, this could be a massive generalization, but like just a massive, I could be wrong with this, but is it because so rare is more of an international game, whereas the card market, as much as we like to think it's moved internationally and expanded, which it has, it's still predominantly American based, and the comps are American based from American eBay and stuff like that. Do we think
Oh,
that's right?
sure. If you look
That's
at
a
the
fair point.
demographic of Sorare, I think it's a lot of Ireland, Scotland, and then Europe. I don't
I
think
feel like there'll
there's.
be a lot of Europeans playing it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not. I mean, the game is based. The headquarters of Sorare is also based in France, in
Oh, really?
Paris.
Okay.
In Paris, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's European developers. As I said, there's a lot of also the content creators. There's a lot of Irish, Scottish content creators, English. I think there's only one American I really know, or two Americans I really know make content around Sorare on YouTube or podcasts. So it's dominated by Europeans or not Americans, I would say.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
I mean, yeah, it's very strange. it's just very strange. I mean, I don't fully understand. I see, and not to bag breakers. I have a break page as well. Shout out to Carnival Hobby Breaks. Go check it out. There are some break pages that have you can buy the spot for Dortmund, but then if you want Bellingham or Mukoku, they have been split out. So you've got Dortmund without them, and then you've got a spot for just Bellingham and a spot for Mukoku. You can buy any cards that come out for that. So you can't just buy Dortmund on its own with all their players.
Yeah.
To me, that just speaks to the hype around these young kids that people will buy into a box break and just hope for one specific player to come out. That's just ludicrous to me. Absolutely ludicrous.
I still don't get the Mukoko hype. I'm still not sure where. I mean,
it's the age. It's got to be the age. I can't think of anything else it could be. It's got to be
sure,
the age.
but I can give you like 500 of these young guys. I mean,
That's what I mean. It's just this guy plays for Dortmund, and Dortmund make all the greatest young players.
He played 78 minutes this season in the Bundesliga. 78.
And he's getting his own spot in a break. That's crazy.
I mean,
isn't it? It's insane. It's just insane. So what do we think? Do we think that this is going to continue in the soccer card market? You think that this is the way it's going to be?
I don't see it changing, to be honest.
Yeah,
what's it going to take for people to look at the goats?
Haaland has to go bust.
Right.
I mean, bust. And then they might. And I reckon that might just turn people off soccer altogether.
Potentially.
Eventually, I think the other situation could be that these young players become too out of reach for most people. That then people are starting to look for something else, and they're like, let's look at some of these older players. And that might be an opportunity to spark, say, like a pre-modern? Is it what you call it, Vincent? Pre-modern / vintage boom, or whatever you want to call it. That could be another factor. The two that's come on top of my head. Anyone else got any sort of drivers for that?
Yeah, as much as we like to believe that a lot of Europeans are getting into it, I don't see it. I don't know what. There will be like peaks of interest when it increases, when there's a new documentary about a player, or when a player dies, maybe like that. But I don't see it change. I don't know what it's going to take to make people realize that they can spend 250 on a Drogba instead of a 3.3k on a Clark.
I
I don't know. I don't know what's gonna take.
while you've been saying that you haven't seen maybe as much interest in Europe, our Australian Facebook pages have been going up a fair bit.
Okay.
Like I'm sure you could say that, Dan, too, for your carnival breaks and the soccer breaks. So do you feel like the interest maybe here is growing a bit more? Yeah, what do you reckon, Dan? Do you agree with that?
Definitely, but I also think that Australia is in a very weird spot. We replicate America, but we have the football knowledge of Europe. It's kind of very, very strange. It's quite unique in that respect. So we do have huge NBA collectors, and we have a good knowledge of that, and obviously Pokemon as well. But also we understand football. It's a conundrum that I'm in because I understand both camps. I've got Kaden Clark rookie cards, right? Because I understand that there is a potential profit-making opportunity there. Do I want to keep him long-term, and do I think he's going to eventuate into anything? Chances are that they're not. Like he's not. More chances are that he's not going to become a fantastic player. So people need to realize than he is. Do you know how hard it is to get into the starting 11 of a top 3 league team? Do you understand how difficult that is? It's so incredibly difficult. It's not even funny. And to think that 3,000, you must have a lot of money, and that just is a money that you're prepared to lose, or you've been sold the dream. In all honesty, there's no logical explanation about it. So DDC has made a comment here. Let's have a look at it. The market and how...
DDC's put up some good comments, even the one before this as well.
Yeah, so he says 2026 World Cup, which is going to be hosted in the Americas, is going to be a very, very interesting time for the card market. Absolutely. The American team is going to be going off. He's also said that the markets and how it has been founded and set by Americans who rather buy prospects than buy established players because of the unknown, and they can see these young kids develop, etc.
Yeah, it's true. People like being sort of along for the journey. So I think that's probably sort of into that factor there. DDC, are you from Australia or are you from the States? That's the question I've got.
I think it's a trend you see in every single market. Like people would rather buy a speculative stock over a Tesla or a Google or Amazon or something that's been around for a while, and we know what to expect. People would rather invest in something completely speculative because it's like more fun and engaging and all of that stuff. Like people don't want to wait 25 years for their cards to go up. Like that's boring to them, to a lot of people, and I understand that. I mean, completely fine with that. But then the prices are like just insane. It's like, if it was about $100 or $200, okay, but we're talking about 3.3K here.
Yeah, I guess a good example maybe could be the Apple stock price, let's say 10 years ago, and the cost of an iPhone. Then people are going to buy the iPhone because it's a new shiny thing at that point in time. But if you had bought however many that stock would have bought you, and bought it on an annual basis because people want to get the latest phone every year, you would be a lot richer than the people who have to throw out their phone every year for the new one.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Any other comments on that?
I was going to say something. I've lost it. Fuck.
Totally agree.
All right, we have some quick fire questions we're going to get into after we kind of finish off that topic. If you think of it, Luke, let's bring it up again because it's an interesting. Like I don't want to be too depressing about the soccer card market, because we do sound a little bit depressed by it. But I mean, I grew up watching the Juventus team and Serie A back in the day with Maldini and more recently the team leading up to the Italian team that ended up winning the World Cup. Those players were just absolutely incredible. I watched Ronaldo Nazario live, live at the stadium, and just that type of brilliance I have not really seen all that much until obviously Ronaldo and Messi and things like that. But to see what Zidane did with the ball, I don't see any players doing that. Name me one player who's playing at the moment who did what Zidane used to be able to do.
I definitely don't see that Pepe guy doing that.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So how do I logically think that I'm going to be paying? I just don't get it.
I'm with you.
It's depressing, but man, I don't know what else to say. Let's get into. Yeah, I mean, I'll get upset. I'll start. People will stop listening to us, so we'll probably need to move on.
To add on to these, if anyone in the chat has any questions, quick fire questions as well, go for it. Shoot.
Absolutely. Now, the first question we have here is from PBJ Soccer. That's to Vincent's page. It says the top 4 race in the Premier League is super tight. Which team do you think is looking more like title winning or winning the title?
City.
Didn't we do like a preview in earlier this?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
I said City. I'm sticking by City.
Oh, you said City? Oh, you're a traitor.
No, I said City at the start. I said we weren't going to win it this season. I think maybe I'm keeping a lid on it. I don't know, but I'm going to stick with City.
I think I went for Chelsea. I'm going to stick with Chelsea.
You can't not say Chelsea with that big flag in the background, mate.
I can, and I would, but I can see Chelsea.
Yeah.
I think it's a good year for them. So, they're looking good. I mean, we're top of the league, obviously. After only 7 game weeks, so there's a lot more to go. A lot can happen. Like if we run into some more injuries and stuff like that, but that goes for every single other team. I think we have a fair shot this season.
To answer that question, I'm going to ask you both a question, and based on your answer, I'm going to go with that team. That is Tuchel versus Guardiola. Forgetting past achievements, who is the better coach right now?
Oh, that's a big question. I'm going to agree. Yeah, I'm going to agree. I don't know.
I'll go with Chelsea.
Pep seems rattled. I don't know what it is.
He does.
It just seems rattled. And in that question, Dan, who do you think will win Serie A this season?
I think Milan's going to win it. AC Milan.
Really?
Okay.
I think it's going to be tight. The two Milan teams are tight. I think Napoli will eventually fall off a bit. I think Milan have the opportunity to win it, assuming everyone keeps performing and not getting too many injuries. They're always big ifs, but man, I see a hunger in them to win the title that I haven't seen in a long time, and I see Inter being very good, but a few changes kind of maybe not getting them over the line. I think Milan. That's my pick.
Yeah, nice.
I got another question for you guys. Then, who would you take, Klopp or Pep?
That's a good question.
Oh God,
they both seem rattled.
Yeah, they do.
I really like Klopp. I'm a big fan of his. Not recently, but I'll go Klopp.
Okay. You look?
So is it based just on manager?
Yeah, I mean it's the same question.
Yeah.
Like
I'm gonna say
then
Klopp as well. Then
Klopp. Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna say Klopp as well. DDC said City lack a proper striker. You're not wrong, but when you've got Ferran up there who can play as that false nine, De Bruyne can play as that. Did De Bruyne play as that false nine on the weekend against Liverpool?
Not sure if he did.
Not sure.
I know he played there a couple of times, but
yeah, Jesus can play there if he needs to. So I don't know. I don't know. I think
Grealish played in that position.
Yeah, Grealish was a false nine.
City still have enough to win the title for me. But you're right though. They do lack that out and out nine, and if they had that, well then I'd be a lot more confident in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next question, guys. Probably a little bit of a weird one given the conversation we just had, but from Chris Langell. Best Jude Bellingham card if you wanted to invest in just one high-end card.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea what card I would even, what the set would be or whatever.
This looks like Luke's question, I think.
Yeah.
Some like a top Chrome Bundesliga something ish.
I'm gonna go. Does he have a museum?
I think he does. Pretty sure.
DDC said Grealish played false nine. Okay. If he has a Tops museum and it's got the RC on it, I'm buying that. But also, it
I tell
depends.
you,
No, I'm not buying it myself. I'm buying it with that budget. Hold on.
I tell you what, with that budget, at Carnival Hobby Breaks, we pulled a June Bellingham auto rookie card from the Inception set. That card is gorgeous. It is really, really nice.
Is that the one you're picking?
That's the one I would pick.
Nice.
I wouldn't pick any of them, but that'd be the one.
But for the sake of the question,
it's worth a lot of money.
I want to see if there's an auto, because whatever his auto is, I'm buying that.
Yeah, so that one I'm talking about is an auto.
Oh, yours was an auto. It was all from Inception. Nah, I'm gonna go something different. I'm gonna go the Tops Chrome auto.
Cool.
Actually, no, I'm gonna go the Finest auto. I reckon that one looks pretty cool. Even though I don't love Finest, but that auto for Drew looks pretty cool actually. So I'm gonna get that one.
I would say the 2020 Top Chrome Bundesliga Refractor. I think that looks nice. You also RC. There's no autograph or whatever on it, but I like the color scheme.
That's what RC.
Yeah. Great looking card, and I also love Tops Chrome.
This is Inception.
This is yeah.
Yeah, nice. I rate that.
And you're getting that for $500 US. No, it's. I mean, if you really believe in him.
Yeah. For me, probably not. But
where the question is, where do you see him go if he would leave Dortmund? Where is he playing if he would leave Dortmund?
Was that Liverpool, weren't they?
Liverpool.
Liverpool means
midfielder.
I heard United were in for him as well. I'm not sure how concrete that was, but maybe they're moving Fred on finally. Fucking hell.
Just imagine.
I think you've got American buying Americans, and then you've got English players. They're a different breed. Like English players tend to get a lot of hobby love.
Yeah, but I see that more than the American players. Like that makes more sense to me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd pick Bellingham over Pepe or Kaden Clark.
That one I can't really knock as much because I see where they're coming from. I was just saying in the comments here. Tom was buying one of his 1,000 Tops Now cards.
Taking the piss, surely. Maybe he's what's that vintage version? You know, that Tops vintage card. That you know.
Which one?
Anyway,
Lost Rookie,
something like that. Auto, Tops Finest, non-auto, Stadium Club, photo variation.
I was gonna say some of the photography in Stadium Club wasn't bad. It was interesting.
Hey, mate, it's a good set. It's just not a good price. The next question we have, Chris Langell again. Any opinion on the tickets of Golden Auction has this week? Have you looked at it, Vincent?
I think that's
Vincent's
department.
No, really. I have not looked at the Golden. If you can pull it up.
React to it together.
Yeah, we'll take a look. All I know is that tickets are still pretty cheap, depending on which one, of course. But that's the beauty about these tickets as well. Like you can go really, really deep. Like if there's like a goal of a player you love, then just get the ticket. It's gonna cost you $15 maybe, and you have a moment.
It's almost like you're investing in an NFT, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I've bought some tickets. I've bought some tickets from players I had on Sorare. I mean, because I have the first goal from Ito, the guy from Genk, the winger from Genk. Like no one cares about it, but I think he's a great player. Genk is a good team, so I bought the ticket. It was like $5.
I gotta say, graded tickets do look pretty cool.
Yeah. I've yet to grade a ticket because they went up in price and the backlog was getting out of control as well. But
the SGC doing?
No, I think it's only PSA at the moment.
Right. Okay.
Oh, what a card!
I mean, I was just looking at it. This went for $6,765. It is a dual auto with Pele and Lionel Messi. It is a BGS 9 that looks like a purple Spectrum from.
Is that from Leaf?
I can't even tell what set this is. Leaf, yeah, Leaf.
Yeah, I think it's Leaf.
Yeah.
Man, like, so you're telling me that you're spending however much on Kaden Clark, almost $4,000, and this is going for $6,765. Two of the greatest players to ever play the game. That almost seems underpriced if that's the way we're going to do things.
It's just I don't know if the non-license there is just throwing that off, but yeah, that does seem cheap. Was that Pulisic? Is it a Pulisic? Go down. Sorry.
There's a few Pulisic here.
4,600 out of 49 rookie auto.
Dude, this one went for $9,225. Patch auto.
People
9.5.
Honestly, people haven't.
That is wild. You are, mate, 9,225 for one player, and that player is Christian Pulisic. And you've got two players down here, 6,765, Pele and Messi.
That's mad.
You're right. You're having a bloody laugh. That is out of control. I'm getting angry now thinking about it. The only card
you answered, like coming back to what we were talking what we were like talking before, like Golden is obviously American, like a lot of Americans. Does that really mean that because it's on Golden and that's American, that Americans would rather buy a Pulisic than a Messi Pele auto, duo auto? It's like, is that really what's going on here?
Whatever's going on there, as Dom is saying, like, that's a disgrace. But they paid $8,610 for a Barcelona Porto ticket.
I mean, yeah, that's the holy grail as well. Messi's the Barcelona debut. Like, that's as collectible as it gets, I guess.
Now that makes sense.
Yeah,
Pulisic
it really does.
Patch auto from Select for fucking more than that doesn't make sense. Pardon my language, but
it is. You're right. It is. It's 9,000, isn't it? It's more than that.
Man,
that is wild, man.
Messi
that is
debut
out of
ticket
control.
Oh man. You know what?
This is also natural scarcity. I mean,
yeah,
it's natural scarcity. It's not manufactured. It's like there were only so many a day of the game. It's still in very good condition because you still have the stub on it. Like, it does seem like in pretty good condition. You can still read what's on it. So I mean, 8.6. Damn.
I'm surprised that hasn't aged worse. That car, the ticket itself.
Yeah. It's been kept in good condition.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's nice.
And like you said, natural scarcity. Pulisic is still signing cards. Like, there's going to be more. Was this a rookie or something? 2016, 17? I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. But come on. That's wild. That's not even. Isn't it even a 1-on-1? No, it's not a 1-on-1. Is it?
No, it's out of.
No.
Go up a little bit. I think it says
out of 25.
Is it 15 or 15?
No,
Yeah.
25.
Oh, 25.
15, yeah.
15. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
15. So there's another 14 of them out there. Wild stuff. As Doma said, he likes the Socceroos, but he's not buying any upcoming talent if he ever had that much money. Who is an up and coming Socceroos? I wouldn't even know.
Arzani, that's about it. And Arzani's a little bit. He's been around for a while.
The Pulisic would be considered his RP8. I mean, I get it. I completely get it. But come on, I don't get it.
It's still Pulisic.
It's still Pulisic.
Not for,
the next question.
To be honest, if it was a few $1,000s, I'd understand. I'd be like, you know what, fair. If it was 2,000 US, I'd be like, you know what, cool. But not at 9,000 when you can buy a Messi debut ticket for cheaper. That's ridiculous. Come on.
Yeah, when you see it on Golden Auction, you see the other cards available, and they're going for cheaper than that. It's just wild.
Yeah,
wild.
Yeah, definitely.
Then the next question is best Italian. Sorry, this is from. I can't even say your name. The great card. The great card. Sorry.
I'm gonna say when
the great card guy.
when Vincent sent it through, and it was in was that in Swedish? Vincent, you sent that through?
Oh no, just Dutch.
It's Dutch.
Yeah.
What is going on? And then I had to read it. I had to take a double take. I was like, oh wait, it's actually this bit's in English.
It's actually English. Best Italian legend to invest in: Baggio or Totti or Maldini or Cannavaro? It's a very good question. That's right up my alley.
Like you go first then.
You want to go first? I've got my answer, but you go first.
It's so. Are we?
Well,
Are we talking about cards, or are we talking
So what are you
about
thinking?
greatest legend?
Well, the question. What was the question?
The question was best Italian legend to invest in. So these players. So he's obviously trying to buy cards of theirs, right? So the reason why that's a distinguishing factor is that Cannavaro automatically goes out, and to a lesser extent Maldini, because they're defenders and they're not necessarily.
But he also won. He also won the Ballon d'Or, so that to me would have brought it up, even being a defender. Either way.
Yeah, but you're thinking logically.
I'm not buying any of them. I'm buying Tonali. That's what I'm doing. I'm not buying any of them.
You're buying Tonali. Yeah. That's illogical, but would make you money. Out of all of them, I would pick Baggio. He is a Ballon d'Or winner, and he's an attacking player, and he has such an influence on Italy at that point in time. It was incredible. Followed closely by Maldini, because again, he meant so much to the Italian side, such a great in the Milan team that won all of those Champions League. So he was brilliant. And then I would follow very closely with, not closely, there'd be a little bit of a gap, and then Totti and then Cannavaro. That's the order I would put that in.
I was going to say Cannavaro just because he was more my era. Even Totti as well was probably more my era, more than the other two. But yeah, I was going to say Cannavaro. But your one is logical. It makes sense.
There's no question about this. I would go for Baggio.
There you go.
Baggio is something else.
Baggio was a player who definitely, you felt like he had the ball on the string at times. He'd do things with the ball that other people wouldn't even be thinking about. And he did have a lot of speed. Man. He was intelligent.
He was untouchable. I mean, he was so good. But I think his prices are already way up there. I'm not sure. Last time I checked Baggio, pretty sure he's already pretty expensive. So maybe he's not the best investment now. But if you would go for one player you're gonna see back in highlights, score goals, give assists, do some amazing stuff, then I would go for Baggio.
Well, he also had that documentary that came out, which in my opinion wasn't a great representation of him, but still did kind of pick up some key moments and did pick up the vibe of him as a player and what he meant to the Italians, I felt.
DDC said, why not get all of them and get the immaculate triple auto? That'd be cool.
Yeah, I know. I have seen that one.
When did that doco come out? I'm just looking it up now.
The doco came out a month or two ago, maybe 2 months ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's in Italian, but it's not really a doco. It's like a it's a guy playing him and stuff like that. It's not. It's not really a doco. It's a movie, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Can you get English subtitles?
Yeah, it's dubbed in English as well if you watch it. I'll watch it in Italian.
I was going to say, here's the question. Did you watch it with the subtitles on or off?
I watched it with the subtitles on, but it that's more for my wife than me.
You had to throw that one in there.
I get too distracted with subtitles, but anyway.
Yeah, I know. It's true. No,
and the final question was from C Town Slabbers. What are your two pre-ultra modern plays not named Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo from, let's say, the 80s to 2010s?
Ooh.
That's a wide gap. That's a very wide range.
What was the range? Sorry, 1980s to early
2010s.
2010s. Okay.
That's going back so far. I'll go first. I would say David Beckham is one of them. I think he's gonna get a lot more attention coming closer to the 2026 World Cup. Also, what he's doing in the States with his Inter Miami FC project is not going very well. Like in terms of achievements, but he's always relevant. He wasn't the best of players, but he's just so marketable. He's always in the news. There's always something about him. So I think David Beckham has still has room to grow. And yeah, I have to go with a guy like Hardy. Like he was pretty expensive. I think his 1998 World Cup sticker PSA 9 went for $2K during the boom. They came down a lot. I think $300 or $400 was one of the last ones sold. But he's still relevant. He's still part of the Belgium national team. Pretty sure he'll be a coach again soon, or if he isn't already. And he was like in the invincible days. He was so good. So I'm going to say David Beckham and Hardy.
Luke?
I'm going to go one. I'm trying to think of my reasoning for how much he means to United fans and just English people in general. I'm going to go Wayne Rooney. I think he's quite affordable too. If we're talking about, where he is now to what his cards or stickers could be, especially those 2006 World Cup ones, Dan, you're talking about a few weeks ago. I didn't end up getting. There was one guy who, this is off topic, but there was one guy who had a big lot of them. I was going to buy them and grade some of them. I didn't end up doing it, but I've still got him around, so it's all right. Yeah, I think Rooney. I'm going to say Rooney, and I'm just going to keep it at that because it's quick fire.
Yeah, cool. I mean, the Manchester United factor of everything that you guys are saying makes complete sense.
It's huge, yeah.
For me, I think that they're massive collectors in this hobby, and that does drive things going forward as well.
Even just in general as fans, like they're so diehard. Like yeah, I'm not going to go any further. I'm just going to say they're very diehard.
For me, if there's one player, you do not go past Ronaldo and Azzurro. You do not go past R9 at all. Like that is a guy that I would, if I had the cash, I would PC the crap out of him, because I just think he was a player that just captures a lot of people's minds, and that's globally as well. Although he didn't play in the Premier League, so that's maybe his thing, but he was just an unbelievable striker, and everyone I speak to gets it. They understand.
Yeah.
So that's what I'll do.
Yeah, definitely. Wait, is he quite expensive at the moment already though? I've never really looked into his cards, well, not recently anyway.
What is the card to get for Ronaldo, Vincent? What's his rookie? Because there are a few out there.
I think his PSV is still way up the list. I think it's let me see. I think it's his 94. You have his Panini Football 95, which is with the shiny background, where he full frame. He also has a
what kit is that in?
PSV.
Okay. Let me see if I can bring this up.
Yeah, it's from the football set. Yeah.
This one here?
That's one, and the one above as well.
Sure.
They're both 94, 95. I think those two should be on top of the list if you want to get into Ronaldo. He also has a Super Calcio one, but that's 95, 96, if I'm not mistaken. So 94, 95 was his first year, I think.
I've seen that one before.
This one, yeah? Yeah.
That one as well.
That's a very, very, very young Ronaldo there. It's the 94 El Mundo Deportivo.
Yeah, it's that one I meant. I didn't mean the other PSV one. I think I meant this one. Yeah, The El Mundo. Yeah, that's it. It's so hard to find these in good condition. It's really hard.
He looks
Because
so
of-
young in this
Because of the
photo.
border. Yeah, it's insane, right?
Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff.
750. Damn.
It's a lot.
It is. But I mean, he was a very good player.
Exactly. Cool. Anything else that you guys are looking at in the hobby at the moment? Any last thoughts before we wrap it up?
No, not really. It's going to be a boring international weekend this week. That's all I've got to say.
Yeah. What do you mean boring? Belgium is playing France. You have Belgium playing France, and you have
It's the Nations League.
Yeah, it's a Nations League. Yeah. I don't see Australia in there, huh?
That's a great point. I can't talk.
No. It's Spain, Portugal, I think it was, and it's Belgium, France. So it'll be interesting. Let's see if we can beat France this time.
I'm really looking forward to Italy, Spain. I think that'll be
Italy, Spain. It was.
game.
Sorry, I thought it was Portugal. Yeah, it was Italy.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for that one. It's a little bit of a rematch from the Euros. They could be wanting a little bit of payback. Let's say. So there we go.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Did the squad come out? The squad's come out for that yet? I haven't even seen it.
The squads have. There were a few injuries. Zaniolo didn't make the team. He was a little bit upset about that when he, in the lead up. So yeah, there's a few injuries on Italy's side. Obviously, Immobile, but call that.
Pellegrini got a call up.
Pellegrini has been on fire this season. He's been very good. So he deserves that.
Also, maybe interesting to keep an eye on. The United States men's national team have 3 games this month. On the 8th, they play Jamaica. On the 11th, they play Panama. And on the 14th, they play Costa Rica. So they have 3 games in 6 days. So if you're invested in Americans or you want to do like maybe a quick flip, make sure to check the rosters. And maybe there's some potential quick flips in there.
How do you do a quick flip? How do you do a quick flip in soccer cards if you're waiting for them to come in and stuff like that?
Buy them now. I mean,
how would we do it?
What do you mean? eBay? Get them to your
No, but I mean,
account?
But that's obviously still does take time. Is there any other opportunities? Maybe So Rare, maybe Star Stock, things like that?
I have no idea about Star Stock or ComC or whatever. I would say for me, my best bet would be buy them now today. Hope they arrive in the next 3 days, so I have it in my account by the 8th, and then hope the player plays and actually does something. That would be the best bet for me. Obviously, not being from the States, but or just watch the games and see who performs well. To maybe because they have another big game coming up against Mexico on the 13th of November, so that's next month. I think more people will gravitate towards that because their rivalry with Mexico. Mexico is also a better team, so more eyes will be on that one, and maybe try to capitalize on that fact. Maybe the player you're watching during those 3 games will also play against Mexico, and it gives you another month to get the card in your possession.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a better play. I don't know. But I just want to because we can make fun of the prizes of these players, but I mean they're still very important to the hobby. So maybe 4 interesting games of the United States men's national team to watch and to pay close attention to. So
that was back on the point. You're understanding what the market is.
Yeah.
And the market is very, very much American driven, and if you want to profit on that, then absolutely what Vincent just said is the way you would go about it.
Yeah.
So just before we go, I just want to read this. Fabrizio Romano is reporting that Kylian Mbappe had an interview with RMC Sport. Yeah, he's saying he asked to leave in July, so the club could get a transfer fee to get a quality replacement.
He asked to leave.
Yeah. Well, that's what
And then he said,
what's reported.
And then he said, if you don't want me to leave, I'll stay.
Yeah, okay.
Then he was also saying he doesn't appreciate PSG saying he asked to leave in the last week of August because he actually asked in July. But it's not true that I turned down 7 contract extension proposals. PSG have given me a lot. I've always been happy in the 4 years I've spent here, and I still am. So interesting.
There you
go. Yeah, I mean, if Romano said it, then it's probably true. I think these clubs, it would make sense if you were the club, but I just don't think they care that much about money. It has been pretty proven up to this far that the owners are not too fussed about the transfer fee. So him doing a heartfelt thing for the club, you know, they could just as easily buy Haaland next season and say bye-bye to Mbappe with no transfer fee and not break a sweat. So, I mean, they're just going to try, you know, put all chips in front of the table with Mbappe, Neymar, and Messi and see how they go.
Yeah.
That's what I feel. Cool. Another great episode of Soccer Cards Collective. Check us out on socials. Me, Azzurro_cards, Vincent at Cardhour, and Luke at Mars_sports, all on Instagram. Have a great week. We'll catch you next week. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Soccer Card Collective on the Double Coverage Media Network. If you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that bell icon to know when we go live. Also, feel free to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Thanks for tuning in. Till next time. Peace.